What is a demand shock? A demand shock refers to a sudden and significant change in the demand for a specific product or service, typically occurring over a short period. Such shocks can be classified as positive or negative, depending on various microeconomic and macroeconomic factors affecting a region or country. A positive demand shock occurs when consumers begin to purchase goods or services at levels above the typical aggregate demand. Factors such as government tax cuts can provide consumers with additional disposable income, leading to increased spending and heightened demand. Additionally, seasonal changes, like a rise in temperature, can trigger spikes in sales for certain products, such as cold beverages. Conversely, a negative demand shock arises when consumer demand suddenly declines. This can happen due to various reasons, including the introduction of faulty products. For instance, if a car manufacturer releases a vehicle with a critical safety defect, consumer trust may erode, resulting in a sharp decrease in demand. Events that tarnish a brand's reputation can lead to significant shifts in consumer behavior, causing a negative demand shock. The relationship between price changes and demand shocks is crucial for understanding market dynamics. While price fluctuations can affect the quantity demanded, they do not necessarily lead to a demand shock. For instance, if the prices of seasonal fruits rise, consumers may buy less, but the overall demand remains. In contrast, during a demand shock, the demand curve shifts even with constant prices, reflecting a fundamental change in consumer behavior. Supply and demand play critical roles during demand shocks. When demand surges and suppliers fail to keep pace, prices are likely to increase. For example, during natural disasters, the demand for emergency supplies spikes, often resulting in price hikes. Conversely, when demand decreases but supply remains steady, excess inventory can lead to price erosion, indicating a negative demand shock. Factors contributing to positive demand shocks include government tax cuts, interest rate reductions by banks, and the emergence of new technologies. Negative demand shocks can arise from increased taxation, interest rate hikes, or negative health revelations about products. The COVID-19 pandemic exemplified a demand shock, triggering restrictions and lockdowns that severely impacted various industries, including hospitality and travel. Many businesses faced supply constraints while consumer spending shifted toward essential goods, leading to both negative supply and demand shocks. In contrast, the rise of electric vehicles, driven by environmental initiatives and government incentives, illustrates a positive demand shock as consumer interest in sustainable alternatives grows.